Hi, I'm David from Kronos Audiovisual, and today on the Video Review Diaries, we want to look at a new product from Entrek. Entrek, as you probably are aware, are probably more famous for things like their grounding boxes and their cables. Interesting company, Entrek, because of the design of their products and the fact that a lot of their products are passive rather than active. So this is the latest new product from Entrek, which is the Max Mix T2 kit. Now, essentially what this is unlike the grounding boxes that they're more associated with, these are designed for loudspeakers. As you'll see, they connect up to the two terminals, and they are designed to remove vibration from both the cables and the speakers themselves. That's quite interesting because obviously loudspeakers work by moving air. So there's a lot of vibration generally in a loudspeaker cabinet that, and anything you can do to reduce that is going to be a huge benefit. I should sort of say almost straight away, these are not a cheap accessory. They retail at £1,000, and that's for the four pieces, which do a pair of loudspeakers. And you'll see that they're slightly different in that one is slightly shorter than the other, and the other one, one has got a copper spade, one's got a silver spade. So the copper spade is designed to go into the positive terminal or the red in the back of the speaker, and the silver one going into the black terminal. While £1,000 sounds like an awful lot of money for what is essentially an accessory, you really need to hear these, because the difference they make to any loudspeaker that we've tried them in to date has been absolutely incredible. And while £1,000 is a lot of money, as I said, for an accessory, it's an awful lot cheaper than necessarily upgrading your speakers. Now, obviously, people are only going to buy these where they have a speaker of a certain price point to try them in. But we've tried them in all sorts of speakers at different price points, and they do pretty much the same thing with every speaker that we've tried. Obviously, the better the speaker, the more of an improvement you're getting with these things, because you're able to hear what they're doing a little bit more easily. What's really impressive is the way in which they benefit the speaker. Bass is improved, it's tighter and more controlled. You have better dynamic range, you have better microdynamics or macrodynamics. You have better detail retrieval, better soundstage and better imagery. These things pretty much improve every aspect of the loudspeaker's performance. So, as I say, while £1,000 is not an insubstantial amount of money, particularly for an accessory, in some cases, the jump in quality that you're getting is remarkable for £1,000. So, and as I say, far less expensive than necessarily changing a loudspeaker. So we think more and more, customers are looking for ways to improve the system without necessarily changing a component. So things like isolation platforms, grounding boxes, these anti-vibrational kits, these are a far more cost-effective way of upgrading your system, and something I think you should look at. If you don't have to take my word for it. I can tell you these are the best things since sliced bread. At the end of the day, come in and have a listen. We have them on demonstration. So if you come in, we can put them onto a loudspeaker. We can do a quick 30-second demonstration. That's all it takes, and you'll hear exactly what they do. So it's a very simple demonstration, and it pretty much proves our point. We don't like any customer to feel that they have to take what we say, whether it's a video review diary or we're talking to them online, or we're speaking to customers directly in the shop. We're more than happy to prove what we say. We don't expect people to necessarily just take our word for it. So, as I say, if you get the opportunity, do come into one of the stores and have a listen to these. They are really remarkable products, and I think well worth a listen. And as I mentioned before, it's a lot more cost effective than changing a loudspeaker. So thank you so much for listening.